Shall we see what we can get? Rob Roy's viewpoint is going to look over Loch Lomond, because Loch Lomond is over down there, obscured by the fog. I don't know where this is taking us. It looks like it's a dead end. So that's perfect. You've got a path with steps leading to a fence that you can't get through. You want to go that way anyway. Again, we've got some nice views, but we haven't got nice weather. Take a picture of those hills and you're just going to get a misty mess with no definition. So whilst it's beautiful, it's not a shot. I think we're all very tempted to shoot, get a camera out and shoot, and there's certain times you can and there's certain times you can't. It's getting better, is this? So this is padlocked. So I don't know if they don't want people here, but if somebody's driven, because it's a long drive, you go through Aberfoyle and then it's about, I'm going to guess, 9 or 10 miles along the B road to get here, and you get here and you can't go anywhere. Well, what you can do is you can get wet. Woohoo! So this is presumably the way that the Scots people want us to go. So they know I'm coming. Just locked everything up. So you're not coming in here, you Englishman, you. I love the Scots. Couldn't eat an old one though. And you know what? We're going to get there, and I'm going to say this is the Rob Roy view, and Scots people are going to say that's not it. You're in the wrong place, Johnson. As usual. I went into trouble the other week on one of my vlogs. I mentioned that Fairy Pools was a stream and I got told no it's not, you're in Scotland, Englander, it's a burn. So I do apologise. I've never been called an Englander before. Considering I'm half Irish. I've always found the Scots a hardy bunch though. I mean, goodness me, the Romans conquered half the known world and they built a wall to keep the Scots out. Because they classed them as savages. Yeah, good on you. Not the Romans, the Scots. You showed them. I told my little boy that story about Hadrian's Wall, and he went to school and he told his teacher and he got a gold star. It was well chuffed. And he said, Dad, it was down to you, thank you. I said, no son, it's down to you for remembering. Always worries me when dogs start barking into trees. I think some form of yeti or abominable snowman's going to come and eat me. Yeah. View from here is absolutely gorgeous, as you can see behind me. And also, we may have a break in the light. It's the beautiful thing about the mountains and Scotland and the Lake District and anywhere where the weather is awful, because the minute it's awful, the next second it changes. We're looking over behind us here. This is Loch Lomond, and we're looking down Loch Lomond, and I don't want to get into trouble from all you Scots people, but I think that's towards Glasgow, that way. I may be wrong, but and we've got the 70-200 lens on the front of the camera, and because the light is almost perfect for this shot. Now what we're going to have is we'll have a relatively dark foreground with a beautiful vista in the background, and oh, that's going. So I brought the ISO up slightly because I want to freeze the foreground. I don't want any blur if we can possibly get away with it. Now I personally, I've got everything on the camera switched off, and what I mean by that is autofocus is switched off. It's in manual mode. I don't shoot aperture priority. I struggle with it because it wants to do stuff with a camera that I don't want it to do. So because I'm juggling settings all the time, and there's no point in me telling you my settings, because if you were here right at this moment in time, you may use my settings, but if you come yourself, then the conditions are going to be completely different, so you use completely different settings. But all we're doing with the settings is juggling it to get the exposure right and to balance the histogram. Hence the reason that we have up the ISO a little bit, because if we want to keep the trees in the foreground relatively still without getting a lot of motion blur, then we need to up the shutter speed, and the only way that you're going to up the shutter speed is to open the aperture, which I don't want to do because this lens shoots best at f8 to f10, or up your ISO. And yeah, in an ideal world, ISO 64 would be brilliant, or ISO 100, but at this moment in time we're shooting ISO 250, so I hope that makes sense. And then as regards anything else, all you're looking for is a relatively balanced composition, which when the wind stops blowing, taking into account the sky, the light on the loch itself, and a balanced composition between the two, and then you're just pressing the shutter. We are focusing on the headland just here, and at f8 that should make sure that everything is sharp as we can get it in these conditions, because the conditions do make a difference, and you're wet and everything's wet. That's the shot in the bag, and we're just going to hang fire and see if the conditions improve. But what we thought might be a wasted walk, we got 5 minutes of beautiful light, and this is the shot. And we're going to call that a break and an end, because it's getting worse and worse and worse, and the light has gone. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that that shot I showed you looked okay. Oh God! My hat, Teddy, give me my hat. Now I'm going to have to chase the dog because he won't give me my hat. For sale, one dog, brown, likes hats. Oh, he's a pain. Ted, give me my hat, please. Please, hat. Hat. Stay tuned for the next exciting installment, whether or not Jono gets his hat back, or whether or not the dog ends up stuffed and mounted on the wall.